show you guys my newest toy. I am not good about taking care of smokers, I'll be the first to admit it. And it doesn't help with kids running around if I leave it sitting out, because then it goes missing. My other one, it was falling apart anyway, so I don't really care. The other one was a little cheapy I'd bought, I mean like the cheapest I could buy on Amazon, and then I had like kind of scabbed it back together with parts and pieces. So I wanted to show you guys this one that I just got. I like it from just looking at it anyway. I really would have preferred to have the plastic bellows. I had one of those a couple years ago, and I really like that because it's leather. It ends up getting it ends up getting funky. It ends up getting honey. It ends up getting honey and crap in it. It just gets nasty. It gets a little mildew to it. But you know what? This one was I want to say about 30 bucks. I'll put the link down in the description below on where I got it off Amazon. But I'm going to show you a couple things I actually like about this one better than the last really cheap rinky-dink one. The last one first, the lid where it snaps in here, this little ring that goes over the lid, and then it should be soldered on the underside. Yeah, it's soldered right there, but the lid is otherwise just a folded cone. On the old one that I had, the rinky-dink one, this rim was really thin, okay? It had a hinge mechanism of some sort, although it wasn't great. The old one was smaller. This is a 4x10. The old one was like a 4x7, I think. It had screws that went into this Luan plywood, which this stuff will absolutely fall apart if you leave it out in the weather. At least with this, you've got some bolts that are a little bit better screw head on them. They've got, you know, a wider flange. I guess there's a bolt on the backside, although I don't know how you. I guess they put that in and then stapled the bellows on. But this is a much stronger connection. I like that better. And the air hole in the bottom of the bellows is actually a relatively small hole compared to the vent that it blows into, and that's great because that way when you squeeze the bellows, you get a really good velocity coming out of here to jump this gap and feed air to the fire. I've had different ones where this hole was bigger, and so when you squeeze it, like the last one actually, when you squeeze it, you barely actually get any air coming through into that. So you know, I would light my old smoker and I would just be pounding all these bellows as hard as I could, and it was like it was barely even coming out. With this one, I can puff the bellows and put my fingers, you know, in front of that nozzle and feel it blowing air out. So that's really good, I think. Inside, you've got the standard grate in the bottom. This one, the grate has a little bit longer tabs on it, so it stands up higher off the bottom, which is good because it gives you more space underneath for your ash to fall and not plug up in your airflow. So all around, looking this one over, it's definitely better than the little cheapie that I had bought. The cheapie was like, honestly, maybe it was $9.95, and this one was like, maybe this one was $25 or $29. So, you know, a couple bucks more than the cheapest possible one, but a few dollars gets you a lot on these. Like I said, I would have rather had, again, the plastic bellows. I had that before and I liked it better, but it was about 50 bucks. And yeah, a little tight on cash these days, or so we say anyway. Trying to save some money, so I bought a cheaper smoker. And actually, to be fair, the only reason I bought one was because my other one disappeared, which means the kids packed it off somewhere, is my guess. I've asked them, they don't know. But I'm sure I'll find it in a couple years, somewhere out in the weeds, full of mud or something like that, and then I'll know. But it just totally went missing. I've looked everywhere that I normally leave it. I have my dedicated spots to leave it. It's in none of those spots. So I know it got rat-holed. I just don't know where. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this one lit. Hopefully it lights better than the old one, because the old one was almost impossible to light. So let's give her a shot here, and I'll let you know. All right. Let's see if I still know how to light a smoker. Been a couple weeks. Paper feels a little damp. Maybe just humidity. Well, not a good start. But that's probably my skill more than it is the smoker. like to get it blazing pretty good and get a good bed of cardboard down on the bottom. So I've actually got some decent coals. I found if you get obviously excited and you start just trying to throw wood chips in right away, you'll pretty much always suffocate it. I made a video before where I actually put wood pellets in the bottom first and kind of made a bed for the cardboard coals to fall into, and that worked fine. I didn't do that here. I want to see how well I can actually light this thing without having to kind of play some trickery on it. See how well that's jumping? That's really good. That's way better than my old one. Way better. Like you know, it's kind of hard to explain, but you always have to take my word for it. It's a lot better. Put a little handful of pellets in there. Get her jumping again. And right now it's just burning the cardboard. That's not the wood pellets burning at all. These wood pellets, once you get them going, man, they stay going. And they normally will light pretty easy. I've found, of course, cooking with them and burning them in my smoker both. Oh, might have lost it now. The wood pellets are, there's a quality difference to them for sure. I bought the cheapy pine pellets they're marketed as animal bedding, and that's all they're good for, because they are actually meant to basically get damp and break down very readily. So they, just due to the heat in the smoker, they don't really get damp, but just due to the heat in the smoker, they will start to decompose, and then I'm left, the smoker's full of like a loose sawdust. The better quality hardwood pellets that I bought for actually cooking in my Traeger, they hold up a little better and won't break down quite so bad in just the presence of some minor heat. I think we're getting there now. Once you can get it and you can keep flames going on it. Oh, there, I lost it again. Dang it. I think I've got enough base in there now it'll stay. Man. You guys can't even see the smokers boiling over so good. Definitely like the smoker a lot better. Just being able to pump the bellows as good as I can with it and actually get a response and not have it be, I mean, before I was sitting here blowing into the top of the smoker with my mouth to try to get enough air in there to actually light it, because the bellows on it were so crappy. And you guys really are totally smoked out. Oh, how's that? Is that better? The camera was sitting right in the path of the smoke. See, the smoke's getting thicker. Maybe you guys can't tell. I can. I'm getting more air on it, it's getting thicker, which tells me I've actually got a good burn down inside there. That's not just the smoke of, like, you know, your fire's burning out and it's still smoking. This is not that. This is actually burning. The only reason it's smoking is because it's still just not quite getting enough air for how much it's wanting to burn. So, I think we are lit and ready. I want to top it off here. And when I first light the smoker, I like to leave it open top like this so it can breathe a little easier. And then not actually really close the lid until I'm ready to go to work. Because I have had it before where it seems like it's smoking really good, and then close the lid and it'll choke itself out. It's like you got to get the right current, you know, you got to get enough heat established that the heat rising creates the draw. Because you can't, obviously when you're working the beehive, you can't sit there and be continually pumping the smoker all the time. It's got to be able to keep itself burning. So that's kind of the trick to it too, is getting that convection started to where it'll start to actually draw in its own air without you pumping. Man, that sucker's rolling now, buddy. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, these bees are never gonna know what hit them. All right, we'll get her filled up here. I need to refill my bucket here. See, I've got smoke trying to come out the bottom too. Oh, that's so beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Just rolling. It really is pretty. I don't get like artistic about things, but just watching the way the smoke rolls around. Okay, well, I think she's lit up now. Oh, choo-choo! Oh, look at that. That seal's not very good. See how much is leaking under the lid? Leaking under the lid, and it's still trying to go out the bottom, which is a little aggravating. But when I blow it, you get a good bit out the spigot, or out the snout, whatever you want to call it, but a lot coming under the side. Now, really, I'm okay with that as long as I get plenty coming out of here, and I am. The other issue that I've had with other smokers, and I'll probably have with this one too, this lid actually fits so loose that if you're burning something kind of dirty, these pine pellets can be kind of dirty too. We'll make smoke rings. Never was a smoker. I don't know if I can blow a smoke ring or not. Oh, there goes one! You'll get some some creosote built up around this rim, and it can make your lid hard to take off. So I try to make it a point when I'm done using the smoker and it's still hot and that resin is still soft to go ahead and take your lid off then. Okay, now I gotta see if I can make smoke rings for y'all. This is fun. Come on, baby. There goes one. Oh, come on. Are y'all getting them? Hang on. Let me turn the camera around. Smoke rings are cool. There goes one. Oh, I wish my little girls were awake right now. See, who knew beekeeping could be so fun blowing smoke rings? There goes one. Oh, now I'm totally going to have to show them the smoke rings. But I'm not going to go wake them up just to do that. Yes! Alright, let's get some work done. Gotta check the hives. Look at this. Look at all the smoke going over to my neighbor's place. Usually when he comes out here, he will start a fire just burning feed sacks and whatever scrap wood he can to get the smoke to get rid of mosquitoes. That smoke all over at his place is from me. That's all from that little smoker right there in the bed of the truck. That's pretty impressive. He'd probably think I got a whole bonfire going over here. No, just my little bee smoker. So that's a good sign. I like that.